0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Phixated Podcast. I am your host, Mike Azzy, and I'm joined by a guy who would be appalled by what I saw at the gym today. Regz. Hi, bud.
Hey, buddy. Do tell.
How you doing? Well, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
How are you
Good.
doing?
Well, we've reached the point here in the year where I have to wear 76 layers of clothing to be warm in the basement. Now, for those of you that are new to the show, we don't have heat in our basement. We do have this gas stove over here. And Regz tells me every year that like I need to just start it, that I do this to myself. But I'm afraid I'm going to blow up if I start this thing. So I come down here and I wear like 9 layers. I have the hood up. I wear moccasins.
Yeah.
Like,
and the funny thing is if I ever am to stay over your house, that's where I love to sleep because it's like a cave. It's cold.
Yeah, you and
It's
Banksy,
cold. It's
you
dark.
guys
It's
love
beautiful.
it.
I love it.
You love it down here. It is cold. It is dark.
Says the
there
guy
is a
who has his window open in his office.
Well, we did not put the heat on until tonight. Andrea texted me when I was out to dinner and said, "It is cold in this house." And I said, "Go ahead and put the heat on." And then I got home and she immediately said, "It's hot in the house."
Of course.
And I was like, well, like when you put on heat, like when you flip that on, did you like adjust it or did you just, turn it on? And she's like, "Oh, I just turned it on."
So it's just been going.
Well, it's hot. It just like automatically started at like 74.
Yeah.
Like that is way too hot.
Yes.
That is way too hot. So when do you guys turn your heat on?
It probably started last week.
Okay.
But like
Good for you.
I only keep it at like 70 is the max.
Yeah, we have ours at 68.
And that's only at nighttime.
Okay.
Like when I'm here during the day, it's off.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah. And then, I got to heat it up for the boys and for the wife, of course, because if I kept it at my temperature, she'd have left me by now.
I don't know about that. You guys have been together for a minute.
That might have been it if I had made her freeze to death.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay. That's fair. All right. Let me tell you about the gym.
Yeah.
I think as I get older, I just develop more pet peeves.
Sure.
In my life.
As you do.
I mean, about all my airport pet peeves but I've developed a gym one. But I actually don't think I'm way out of line. Like you could argue me that I'm out of line about like the people who get in the way of the gate at the airport. You could argue me about people who stand up in the aisle. Maybe they have circulation issues. I don't know. You could argue me on that. I don't think you can argue me on this. So I don't always see this guy at the gym. It varies based on what time I go. Most days I'm at the gym by like 7:30. If I go a little later, like if I do a meeting first and then, substitute that meeting for my gym time, I'll see this guy. But recently he's been there during like my 7 to 7:30 gym arrival. Here's what bothers me about him. He's not a loud gym goer. Like he's not a slam the weights, grunt every time you lift something gym goer, which typically bothers me. But like Planet does a pretty good job of eliminating that. I'll give them credit. Here's what he does. After every set, and they're not long sets, they're like minimal sets. Like this guy's not squatting 300 pounds. You know what I mean? He'll finish a set and then he'll like pace back and forth aggressively. like this is like watching an NFL player after a sack. It's almost like the crawl across the ground. Like he is aggressively moving from like one machine to the next, all the way down and then back. But he doesn't leave it at the pace. He lifts his shirt and looks at his abs. He'll slap himself in the stomach.
Oh, okay.
He'll, hype himself up. And my guy, that is not something you do in the public section of the gym. If you want to go do that in the men's locker room where dudes walk around with their towel over their shoulder rather than wrapped around their waist, go ahead. But I'm not interested in seeing your abdomen between every single set that you do. No one is. No one is. No one in the gym signed up for the gym so that it was about you. I'm going to need that to stop.
I have a few questions.
Please.
If you'll allow me. What age are we talking?
Probably like late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like, does he have a six pack? Is he like?
Oh,
ripped?
yeah, he's ripped as hell.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, totally defined.
Okay.
Absolutely defined. Not even in question. Unbelievably ripped. I mean, he's thin though. It's not like a toned. He's just very thin.
So we're talking like a Matt Stein build here, who just
I think
walks
Matt was
around
probably
with a six pack all the time.
Yeah, but I think Matt earned his. I think I don't know. I'm probably being a little unfair. He's definitely in shape. But I've been to a lot of gyms. I've been going to the gym for a long time. It's not something you do.
Yeah, I was gonna try and I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt if you said, oh, he's like 22 and he's shredded. No. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. Not makes sense, but you could sort of maybe see why he's doing it. I don't want to validate the behavior because I'm with you. I think it's a little much.
I think I could see why from all right, I can see if he's a narcissist, yeah. But if you're just a dude at the gym, Regz, I have a six pack. I don't walk around lifting my shirt up. You know what I mean? I'm not walking around showing everybody my abs.
I mean, you do put a lot of shirtless photos on Instagram after your vacations that make us all feel very badly about ourselves. But that is what it is.
It's after vacation.
I just had to get that in as someone who's never had a six pack. Just had to shout out all my fellow non-six packers out there.
I think doing it on vacation and just walking around the gym on a daily basis,
all right, yeah,
are two very different things.
Right, that's a fair point. It's
too varied. And look, if I'm wrong, please reach out.
No, that was just too good of a joke not to make. I couldn't help myself.
It was. I did tee it up for you. I mean, look,
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think it's a little much. And especially because I think context is usually very important. We're not talking about you don't go to some crazy meathead gym where everybody's walking around grunting and smacking themselves, and all that stuff.
Oh, it's
a Planet Fitness. There's a time and place, and Planet Fitness tends to err on the side of let's keep our shirts on, let's keep the noises to a minimum. Let's have everybody go about their day, do what they got to do, feel good about themselves, and we'll move on with our lives.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a little not in the spirit of Planet Fitness. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. My favorite part about doing these right now is I have not told you how I'm kicking off an episode in a month.
Yeah, and we just go.
I'm just doing it and seeing how you respond.
Hopefully I've been up to the challenge.
I feel like you've done a really good job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I feel like you've done a really good job. Now, tomorrow, if I see this guy, I'm going to send you a picture.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get a picture. And look, listen, if you're listening right now and you're like, oh, Azzy's being he's being a bitch.
Let us know.
It's fine.
I mean,
please.
There's a comment section for a reason.
Comment, do whatever. I'd love to know if I am wrong. I would truly love to know. I'd also love to know, if you're watching on YouTube, how much you appreciate the cricket hat look tonight.
Or if you'd like Azzy to do his own version of this on the podcast.
This is you are getting the full college Azzy tonight.
Like, I didn't even notice the crooked hat. I'm just so used to it. It did phased me not one bit.
I mean, for a long time on this show, it's been backward.
That's very true. That's very
tonight,
true.
Well, in the winter, it does get
That's
forward.
Right. It goes forward because you got to put the hood on. Yep.
I got to put my hood up because it's 7 degrees in this basement.
I mean, you're diving right into the college Azzy, the crooked hat, the pretzels, a beer in the other hand.
Well, the pretzels are always.
Well, I know. I just mean,
it's a brand new bin, baby.
If you're going for the bit, they got to be there.
Oh yeah, the bit is all here.
All you need is a Propel, and we've got it locked in.
Nah, just water tonight, but we do have light beer. We are. I mean, we are almost all college Azzy right now, except for the Propel. Except for the Propel and probably a Power Hour playing in the background.
That's right.
That's it. But we got a lot to talk about tonight, Bub.
Yeah, a couple things, huh?
Yeah, a few things. We got basketball's back, and we're giving the boys a shot.
Look at us.
So we're gonna start there. We're gonna go a little Bryce Harper. There's been some stuff. And then we got, Eagles deadline. We got a surprise return. We got review of the Vikes. We've got preview of the Giants. So we got a lot to get to tonight. Starting with the boys playing at the Wells Fargo for one of the last times. They did not open at the Wells Fargo last night. They opened in the Garden. And Regz, a 1-point victory at the Garden last night that didn't really involve Joel Embiid. So let's start there. Joel Embiid was 1 for 9 last night.
I'd love to start there.
Let's start there. I feel like that's the perfect place to start.
Yeah.
He's the perfect guy to start with. Let me just run through his evening. And then we'll get into the full bore. So he played 20 minutes, scored 4 points, had 6 rebounds on 1 of 9, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and 0 of 4 from 3. He did only have 2 fouls, but did not play at all in the fourth quarter. So look, I'm going to give you my stance here. I texted you earlier. I do think he hasn't played since February. I don't know what I expected. I don't think I expected a 30-point night from Joe. I also don't think I expected a 4-point night from Joe.
Sure.
He did look slow. He did look out of shape. He looked tentative. All of which I feel like were to be somewhat expected. Do I think he's going to be that way all year? No. Do I think that he's going to be the focal point of this team? No. I do want to acknowledge this before I turn it over to you, because I know we've talked a lot about Joe in terms of the culture of the organization. At the end of the game last night, when VJ Edgecombe was being interviewed on the local broadcast, 4 players went over and dumped water on him to congratulate him for his performance, which we're going to get to in a little bit. One was Trendon Walford, who did not play last night, a veteran who did not play due to a hamstring injury. Another was Paul George, who didn't play because he's recovering from surgery. And then the other 2 were Tyrese Maxey, who, good Lord, they're going to be electric together. And the last one being Joel Embiid, who was just elated, smiling ear to ear, yelling, jumping up and down, celebrating.
Yeah.
So I want to acknowledge that. I think that's important to acknowledge that Joel was not sulking on the sideline or acting in any way, shape, or form negatively about his lack of playing time. So maybe it was planned, maybe it wasn't. But the Sixers got to win. Joel Embiid didn't do anything to contribute to that win, and he wasn't upset about that. That's a big takeaway for me. Where are you at?
I think that's fair. I think that my first biggest takeaway is I am not going to care less what Joel Embiid's stat line is this entire season. Not a bit. Because Joel Embiid is no longer the focal point of this team. No moves, transactions, decisions should be made with Joel Embiid at the center of it. This is where we are. I am taking nothing away from his talent, his ability to be an MVP caliber player. The accolades he's put up, I take nothing. I am not like diminishing his career. I am not trying to dump on him for the injuries that have happened, most of which have been out of his control. I am doing none of that. But literally the first thing I thought of is I could care less how many points Joel Embiid scores, how many rebounds, how many minutes he plays this entire season. I don't care. And I hope that the organization feels the same way. He is no longer the focal point of this team and should not be, and that should not be considered in anything that they do to push this team forward. I am not saying, to the other side of that, that the combination of Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain when he gets back, is enough to win you an NBA Finals, because I'm not sure that that's true. But what I do know is that those three guys have the attitude and competitiveness that you need to shift the the organizational culture. And when you, like, Joel has been a part of that, but a lot of that was because they sort of just said, Joel, we'll do whatever you want. And as a kid who came in the league at 20 from Africa after playing a year at Kansas, you know what I mean? It's hard to blame a kid that comes into that kind of culture and sort of becomes who he is. You know, I'm not saying that Joel Embiid can't embrace this and be a good teammate and a good veteran leader and all those things. I am on the side that I sort of believe he will, quite honestly. But those three guys that I mentioned, those three guards, with their age, their competitiveness, and the skill sets that they're showing, is what this team needs to build around. And so no matter how many minutes he plays, how many points he scores, all those things, that's not what I'll be looking at every night. I'll be looking at, what did Tyrese do? What did VJ do? And what did Jared do? And how competitive was this team? How much effort did they put up? How much, like, sort of will and fight did they put up? That's what matters now. And you've got guys that can do it.
Yeah, and that's where actually I wanted to head next. Like, the underappreciated group from last night that I think really added to what resulted in a win. Like, there was a point where they couldn't score, right? And that's
third
where
quarters, man. We're still bad at them.
You would lean on
unreal.
Joel to get you points there in that third quarter, and maybe they'll be able to lean on him and Paul George in those situations as the year goes along. But they just could not find points in that third quarter. But there's a lot of energy and effort on this team where they've been missing energy and effort. At least, look, this is overreaction Thursday, right? It's game one. But there were two guys that really stood out to me from an energy and effort standpoint last night. One was Jabari Walker, who played 18 minutes, and in those 18 minutes, he had 6 points and 4 rebounds. I've really appreciated the hustle on the floor. He's not gonna blow anybody away offensively, but that dude, played his butt off. It felt like he was always around the basketball. Sometimes he came away with a rebound, sometimes he tipped a rebound, but he was always around it. The other guy really stood out to me, and I gotta tell you, I had no idea who this dude was until last night. I had no idea who Dominic Barlow was until last night.
Yeah.
And he was unreal for them. 22 years old, Regz. 22 years old.
Did you see his quote too? Do the stats and then we'll talk about it.
34 minutes, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And I can't even begin to describe the amount of times that this dude tipped a ball from being an easy rebound. He's the type of guy the Sixers usually get like dominated by or frustrated by, but they finally have a guy.
Yeah.
And he's at least interesting after one game. I don't know what he's going to be. You just don't know. And eventually you wonder, like, when McCain is back, when Paul George is back, he'll probably move to the bench in some capacity, right? But it makes them really deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like their lineup's gonna look interesting when the time comes. Like I don't know if Oubre is gonna keep starting and they're gonna go with Edgecombe and Maxey with Embiid and George, or if they're gonna move Oubre to the bench and start Barlow, or are they going to start small and with a lot of energy with George at the 4 and go with Edgecombe, Maxey and McCain and have just a lot of scoring with going small? I don't know. They have opportunity and for the first time I feel like there's like a variety of different things they could do. And I feel like guys like Barlow and Walker and even Quentin Grimes allow for them to do things a little bit differently than they would have in the past. So he really stood out to me last night.
Yeah.
Like there were times where he took a shot and I was like, oh
yeah,
no,
sure.
don't shoot that.
Yeah.
But they were also not getting offense from other places. And it was like, at least he's not afraid.
Yeah.
Like, at least he's not afraid of the moment. And, it just reminds me of like the Knicks and Hart. And how much that dude just killed us on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the guy who might just kill teams on the glass. He did it last night. He killed the Celtics on the glass last night. What was his quote? I didn't see it.
I'm gonna paraphrase. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it was actually, I'll see if I can find it while I'm talking about it. But it was to the effect of like, I'm a good basketball player. And he's like, oh, here we go. I know how to play basketball, and I know what this team needs me to do. It's just my job to play with energy and pick us up when we are down. Like that. That is what wins you basketball games. Again, not the most skilled guy in the world, probably not even a starter, right, in the NBA. But just a dude who knows his role, who is going to come in, and his only thought is, I'm going to give my entire effort in the minutes that I am in to help this team win. It's not about how many points I get or anything like that. When I am on the basketball court, I am going to try my butt off and help this team win.
I mean, at the end of the day, 13 points, 8 minutes, or 8 rebounds and 5 assists in 34 minutes on 4 of 8 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. That'll get it done.
Yeah. Yes,
that'll get it done. Because again, when Paul George is playing and Joel is able to track more than 20 minutes, he might not be as needed.
Mm-hmm.
But if say you let's just cut the minutes to 20. Say he takes Joel's minutes, right? 20 minutes in a game, and he's coming out and grabbing 6 rebounds, scoring 8 points, 3 or 4 assists on 3 of 6 shooting. We are thrilled.
Yeah, but it's that effort stuff that you talked about. It's not even
exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's not even if you score the points or get all the rebounds. It's you tipped it out to somebody. You dove for a loose ball. Like you boxed a guy out into the stands or whatever it is. You gave that little bit of effort on a closeout or on a pick and roll defense or whatever it is. All those little things add up in basketball, man.
Yeah.
And they make a difference.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the third quarter, and yes, they did not score, but it turned into a ref show in the third quarter too.
Yeah, I didn't watch every minute of it, so I
this just for context. Yeah. It's a little difficult to stay in front of a team when they shoot 15 free throws in a quarter and you don't shoot any.
Sure.
I mean that's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. I mean, it was getting to be
had to keep the game close.
It was getting to be a little much. It was, it's Scott Foster
That's
and his
right.
crew.
Well, there
So,
you go.
you got to have that. But all right, let's get to the last takeaway. The guard play. Quentin Grimes was really interesting offseason story because it was, are they going to bring him back? Is he going? He ended up coming back on a 1-year deal. He wasn't good last night. He just he was super tentative.
Yep.
Super, super tentative last night. 3 of 8. Did make a big 3 at one point, ended up with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So again, as a guy coming off the bench to give you a little bit of scoring, which he's going to be as the season goes along, not bad. But really what it came down to was the two dudes who combined for 74 points last night. Tyrese Maxey, 40 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. VJ Edgecombe, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. To be expected from Tyrese. I think we know what Tyrese is. He played pretty much the entire fourth quarter with 5 fouls. And I mean, at one point he checked himself because he was 3 of 3 from 3 from deep and rimmed out on one too. Yeah. So to be expected. I mean, this is what Tyrese is. But I don't think we knew what we were going to get from VJ. And let's be very fair. He's not going to put up 34 a night.
Sure.
That would be an unfair expectation of us to him. But when they needed it in the first game of the season, and when you're playing in the Boston Garden against your team's biggest rival on opening night, it's a real chaotic environment. The moment was not too big for VJ Edgecombe.
That's the key. It
was not too big. Tyrese gave him a little bit of crap for missing free throws.
Good.
And look, he did. And it wasn't, he didn't deny it. He kind of laughed at it. But I mean, the kid knocked down big 3 after big 3. He is the most athletic rookie that we have had in a long time. Tyrese is athletic.
Yeah.
But this kid's not just athletic on the offensive side. Tyrese had his struggles out the gate defensively. Last night, Edgecombe was guarding Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Pritchard. He was everywhere. And at a high level. He's a freak, man. He's a freak. And I saw someone tweet career 3-pointers, VJ Edgecombe 5, Ben Simmons 5. And it made me laugh. I feel like we finally got the kid from a rookie perspective that could be a star. Just for context, I think this is important. Not because it's the be all end all, but here are the other rookies in their first game last night. Cooper Flagg, 4 of 13, 10 points in 31 minutes. They got blown out. Ace Bailey, 2 points in 20 minutes. And
he
there were
only
a lot of
scored
people.
2 points.
A lot of people who wanted him. And then Harper had 15 points.
Harper was pretty good.
He wasn't 34 points good.
No, but again, with Wembanyama and Castle, it's a little different.
Yeah, absolutely. But they might have gotten the right guy.
Look, I'm thrilled that, number one, he's not afraid. Right? It's a big deal for rookies to come in, and even if they don't think it 1,000%, because how could you ever know if you're ready for it until you get into it? But one thing we know for sure is VJ Edgecombe isn't going to act like he's not ready. That competitiveness and that fire that he has is going to push him to be like, no, man, you belong here, and you need to play that way. Look, could it have very easily been different? He misses all of his shots. He looks confident, but he's just not making anything. Yeah, that's basketball. That's how it goes. And he's going to have games like that. It's just going to happen. But he wasn't scared of the moment. And he wasn't timid or intimidated by the moment. And I think he proved to himself that he has the athleticism to play in this league. He's got the skill set to play in this league. And my biggest thing is just that competitiveness, that edge that he has is just this team desperately needs guys who are just I don't want to lose. Nothing I just don't want to. And I think Tyrese is like that. I do. I think VJ is like that. I think those two guys are going to be the sort of moral center of this team and hopefully allow that to radiate to everybody. But look, he's still what is he, 6'4"? Is he he's 6'4"? He's still a 2 guard, right? At the most, maybe, a point guard, probably not a point guard, but a 2 guard, kind of like Maxey is, but Maxey can handle the ball a little bit better.
He did handle it a bunch last night.
So good. That's good. That's good that he has confidence to do that.
I think they'll be able to use all three of Maxey, Edgecombe, and McCain to handle the ball.
And that's great. You need more guys who can handle the ball. That's fantastic. But he's not 6'7". You know what I mean? He's not 6'8". Yeah. There's a limitation to who he can guard defensively. There'll be a limitation, as we've seen with Maxey at times, that his height limits him despite his athleticism and his willingness to go in and take hits. The best thing you saw was that this kid is not afraid. He's now confident in his skill set, and he is a maniac, and I love it.
I mean, he was on Good Morning America today.
Was he? I didn't even see it.
Well, because, not only did he break a Sixers debut record, but now he's second all time.
I think it was
for debut points.
Third all time. There was Wilt and somebody else, and then it was him.
Yeah, well, because they said you're mentioned in the same sentence as Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. It was by a point, though, on the second place guy. It wasn't that far off.
What's incredible,
Wilt had 45 or 47 or something.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think he was even going to get to the second place spot, and then he caught fire again. He's just very likable. We saw the draft, and when he talked about, pretty much living off a generator as a kid, he's a kid who's not going to take what he's got for granted. And I'll be honest with you. It was always my biggest thing with Ben Simmons. It was handed to him on a silver platter. Everything was always given to Ben. And I don't think that was the case with Joel. I don't think we know that's not the case with Joel. We know where he grew up.
Yeah.
It wasn't the case with Tyrese Maxey. It's certainly not the case with VJ Edgecombe. And it shows in the way that they play the game. It just shows in the way that they play the game. So they play again on Saturday night. They run out against the Hornets at home on Saturday. This upcoming week is Hornets at home. And then, sorry, I'm trying to pull up their schedule. Hornets at home on Saturday. Magic on the road Monday. That'll be a good game, good test for them. Home against the Wizards on Tuesday, which my guess is Joel will play on Monday and not on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They should be able to handle the Wizards without Joel. That'll be a back-to-back he won't participate in. And then home against the Celtics on Friday on Halloween. So, look, you look at what they play this week, it's very possible they start the year 4-1. What's so interesting about this team is they have the most random floor to ceiling of any team I think I've ever watched. Regz, there's a world where they win 25 games.
Yeah.
And a world where they lose 25 games.
Yeah.
We just don't know. So that's what's going to be fun about this season. Hopefully they can keep us invested enough to at least have the conversations throughout the year, because last year was a freaking nightmare.
Yeah. Just keep
and there was just nothing to talk about.
Keep those 3 guys going, man.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to say one more thing, then we'll move on. If these 3 guys are going to be the new linchpin of the organization, I think that's such a big deal for guys like Paul George and Joel Embiid. They can just play free.
Yeah.
Like there's no pressure on them. And I think that like it would be nice for those two not to have pressure. Like it would, I don't really care about Paul George. He's been on our team for like 30 seconds, but I do care about Joel.
Yeah.
Because I think Joel has given us a lot of effort over the course of time with playing through all the injuries he's played through. I know that you have your issues with Joel, and we've had our battles about Joel on this show. But I do appreciate what Joel has done and given this fan base in this city. And I would like for him to be able to ride off into the sunset with a championship. I don't know that they can win one with this team, but I would also like for him to be able to ride off with some sort of winning. I didn't want last year to be it.
Yeah.
So even if they can find themselves in the playoffs, maybe they can freaking get to an Eastern Conference final. And who knows? Because look, the East doesn't look all that scary right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if these three kids can stay healthy and just outscore people, which they're all capable of doing, you can get 70 combined points from two of these three guys every night. And certainly if Joel and Paul George find even like half of what they can be, it's going to be a very hard team to beat, man.
Yeah.
Very hard team to beat.
Just keep these guys at the center and just
That's right.
go from there.
At the center and healthy.
That's
all
right.
To the baseball team. When it comes to the situation of possible injuries, Bryce Harper comes up quite a bit. There were a lot of opinions after what Dave Dombrowski said. Joel Sherman, who is a very respected writer in Major League Baseball, made a comment that wasn't necessarily something that I believe to be reporting, more felt like opinion. His statement was to the effect of, don't be surprised if the Phillies trade Bryce Harper this offseason.
Or I think it was, he wouldn't be 100% surprised if Bryce Harper was traded.
It was something that was more opinion based.
Yes.
Which is because, and the reason I say that is because I don't want to tie him to reporting that Bryce was on the block. People took it that way, of course. And Dave came out today and said, like, you're nuts. You're nuts. There are a couple reasons why you're nuts. The first is this is an organization that's hosting the All-Star game this year. You don't trade your biggest star if you're going to potentially lose your second biggest star to free agency. No, that's number one. Number two, he was still worth like 4 wins above replacement this year in a bad season. And I went and I looked at all of the like peripheral stats. And this is not a guy who's really lost it. Like if you go to his Baseball Savant page, I did not send this to you. And I've only sent it to people who have questioned Bryce. Because there are people out there who are like, oh, I think he's done, or I think he's shot. 2024, Bryce Harper's expected on-base percentage, expected batting average was 81st percentile. This year it was the 83rd percentile. His expected slugging percentage was the 88th percentile. This year was the 89th percentile. His average exit velocity in 2024, 80th percentile. This year, 79th. Barrel percentage last year, 73rd. This year, 77th. His hard hit, 87th. This year, 77th. He did drop there, but that could be due to his chase. Hard hit percent and barrel percent don't actually have to align, especially when your average exit velo is as high as his. Bat speed. I thought this was a big one due to the wrist.
Yeah.
Bat speed, 81st percentile in 24, 81st percentile in 25. His chase percentage in 2024 was 19th percentile. This year was 11th. I felt like he chased more this year.
It certainly felt like it.
Yeah. Maybe so he chased 35.6% of the time this year. Last year, 33.4. So he did chase more this year. It just means that the rest of baseball chased as well. His whiff percentage last year was 38th percentile. This year was 13th percentile. So he was swinging and missing a lot more. And again, that might have been due to his chase being up a little bit.
He was also just missing pitches like down the middle. Like
what's interesting is that he swung and missed 26.7% of the time last year. This year, 30% of the time. So it wasn't even that big of a difference there.
Yeah. It just felt like he missed a lot of like hittable pitches.
Yeah, for sure. He did drop his walk rate dropped this year percentile. He walked actually more this year. 12%.
That doesn't match the eye test at all.
12.1% this year.
Yeah.
I think Regz, you know, what's interesting, like look at his baseball savant page, like go now, if you go to 23, huge drops. I will say that. I think it's fair to say that if you go to 23, like exit batting average or expected batting average was 93%. You know, this year, like he dropped 12 points over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Slugging percentage 93. This year was 89. So that's not the end of the world. Let's go to his bat speed. 81 bat speed in 2023 was 90. He's at 81. So he has dropped.
Yeah.
Right. He has dropped his bat speed but like, here's the thing. And this is why I think it's important to note this. In 2023, his bat speed was 76 miles an hour. In 25, it was 74. Like, it's not a huge drop, right? Like his expected batting average in 2023 was 290. This year was 280. Average exit velo in 2023, 92 miles an hour, 91 miles an hour. So like the numbers, while you look at the savant page and you might see a dip in the percentile, the dip in the actual number is not such a decline that you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, right.
Right? So this is not a guy you trade.
Yeah.
He had a bad year. I think if you put an actual human behind him, someone that can actually hit and not your opposite field 280, but a dude who can turn around 98 and hit it 400 feet into the stands, you might see a difference in Bryce.
Yeah.
I think Bryce, the reason he swung through a lot of pitches is because he was second guessing what he was going to get. Bryce never felt to me physically different. He felt mentally different.
Yes, that's a good point.
Is what Bryce felt like this year. At the end of the day, Dave made it very clear today he's not trading Bryce.
Yeah. Which he shouldn't.
Is there anything else you want to say about Bryce? Because if not, I have something that I want to talk about.
I think the only thing I took was that I think somebody tweeted Boris was on some podcast or radio show and through
Bryce Arini.
Yeah. Even before that stupid phrase, like he didn't throw any fire on it. He's like, Bryce wants to be a Philly. The Phillies want Bryce to be a Philly. And nobody in the organization or Bryce wants him to be anywhere else than where he is. And you know, Scott Boras, if there was a problem, he would take the opportunity to get some leverage. So I thought that was a big deal. And again, Dombrowski coming out today and being like, this is ridiculous. You know, we're not trading Bryce Harper. All good things. I think that essentially, you know, that is that, as it, you know, as they say.
Now, in that same interview on MLB Network today, you know, they asked Dave about this offseason. And Dave said just like how important this offseason is, and that he presented a plan to John Middleton. And I think he said he's waiting for him to approve it. Some
No,
people
he said he
that
did approve, I thought.
he did approve it.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Well, that's what the quote said.
okay, maybe I misheard it, misread it.
I'll
but
look
you're
it up
like
while
the
you're
fourth.
talking.
Well, you're like the fourth person that said that, so it must have been a me thing. I'm very curious because he did add that it's a very generous, like size amount of money, and so we know it's going to cost at least $45 million to bring back Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto. That's basically what it costs to get them here in the first place as a combination, because JT was costing you about 25 and Kyle was costing you just around 20. So you're just recouping them for that same amount. And then it's about finding the money elsewhere to improve the roster. Whatever that looks like. Ranger will be gone. Bomer's probably gone.
Yeah.
You got guys like Kepler and Romano off, right? But I think the question for me at this point is like, do we trust Dave to sign the right free agents? I think it's a very fair question. I think we've got a nice sizable chunk. So what I did was I pulled Dave's free agents.
All right.
And I want your opinion.
So
we'll try to agree.
Let me just say for the record what he said first, and then we'll get into that.
Yep.
We know this is a real big winter. This is quoting him, by the way. We know this is a real big winter time for us. We've been talking about this for weeks, and I've proposed something to him that he's given me an approval on. He's given me an approval on it, so I know where my payroll is, and it's still a very hefty payroll. Him being John Middleton, the
owner,
CEO, and controlling partner of the Phillies.
And so, but we know we're gonna get that from John. I really don't think that John has like a no factor to him. I think John's gonna give you what you think he needs. And I think one of the reasons he brought Dave in is because he doesn't feel like Dave has to overdo it.
Yeah.
So the plan is the plan, and we'll see where that takes us. But I do think it's fair to look back over his 26 free agent signings.
Mm-hmm.
And just see like, was it a win? And I think some of these guys are relative, right? Like comparing Kobe Allard to Kyle Schwarber is not fair.
Sure.
For what their role was, were they a win based on what you paid them?
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna go through them real quickly, and we're just gonna decide win or not based on what they were. And because I think that's a big part of where we're going here. So let's start with Colby Allard. He was here last year, 1 year, $1 million. I thought he gave them some decent starts.
Win.
I didn't have a problem with Colby Allard.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. Johan Camargo, 1 year, $1.4 million. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Odubel Herrera, 1 year, $1.75 million.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, keep moving. Josh Harrison,
Thumbs
1
down.
year, $2 million. Yep. Spencer Turnbull, 1 year, $2 million. The injury to me makes it a thumbs down.
Sure.
He was really good when he was healthy, though.
He was, yes. It didn't end how anybody wanted it to, but
so I don't think it's a good. Like I don't think
it's like a middle. It's like a middle. It's like it's kind of like it's kind of out of it. It's kind of out of Dave's control also. That he got hurt.
I'll give a middle. Matt Moore, I don't really remember what Matt Moore was like. He was a left-handed pitcher that came in and actually pitched out of relief. I'd have to look at his numbers as a Philly.
I got nothing.
I'm just gonna pull it up real quickly. Well, because I do think he was actually okay for them. I don't think he was actually very like. All right, here we go. I'm pulling it up. Let's see. He in Philly in 2021. Well, he had a -6 WAR. All right, yeah. No, it didn't work out. Is where we're gonna go with that one. That did not go well. Brad Miller, 1 year, $3.5 million. Feel like that was a yes.
Fine, yeah.
I feel like he was fine. Joe Ross, 1 year, $4 million.
No.
Probably not. Chase Anderson, 1 year, $4 million.
Who?
Chase Anderson. Yeah.
I don't know.
David Robertson, 1 year, $6 million. That was
Yeah.
this year. What would you say?
Yes, I think ish.
We'll do the other half. Like we'll do the half for that one. Archie Bradley, 1 year, $6 million.
No.
Juris Familia, 1 year, $6 million.
No.
Brad Hand, 1 year, $6 million.
Brad Hand was fine.
I think Brad Hand's a yes.
All right, sure.
I think he's a yes.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm not going to argue
that. Spent the whole year on the major league roster. It was a bad yes. Like it was a 2.5 ERA that never felt like a 2.5 ERA.
Yeah.
Here you go. Whit Merrifield, 1 year, $8 million.
Sorry, Whit.
Jordan Romano, 1 year, 8.5.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Max Kepler, 1 year, 10.
Yeah, that's too much money for Max Kepler.
Yeah, and the end of the year doesn't save him for me.
No, it does not. If it was 7 million, I think we'd maybe be able to argue it, but
yeah. Corey Knebel.
No, thank you.
1 year, $10 million. Craig Kimbrell, 1 year, $10 million. I think you got to give it half.
Yeah, I guess.
He was an all-star, Regz.
Literally for his half a year that he was good.
He was fantastic for half a year.
That's what I mean. So you give it half.
Matt Strom, 2 years, $15 million.
Yes. Thumbs up.
D.D. Gregorius, 2 years, $28 million.
No, thank you.
Get the Taiwan Walker, 4 years, $72 million.
I mean, just because of the money, it's a no.
You wouldn't give it a half?
No, I think it's too much money. For what he's turned into, like I get it, he's sort of salvaged it, but he was supposed to be your number 3 starter.
Yeah.
So I think because of that expectation and that's what you signed him for, it's got to be a thumbs down.
That's fair. I mean, I can just mark this down. Kyle Schwarber.
Yep.
4 years, $79 million. Nick Castellanos, 5 years, $100 million.
Thumbs down.
JT Real Muto, 5 years, $115.5 million.
Thumbs up.
Aaron Nola, 7 years, $175. I think it's a little too early to
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if we can say that yet.
And I feel like Trey is still a little early to say too.
I feel like out of all the shortstops for that like little shortstop thing
he's
during his thing,
he's a thumbs up for that.
But that's what I mean. Like if that's the expectation, is there was this offseason of 4 shortstops, right? It was Trey, Bogarts, who else? Swanson, and who was the 4th one? I can't remember the 4th one.
Was it Baez?
No. Anyway, even if we're just talking about those 3, like, I feel like it's a thumbs up.
Oh, I gave him a thumbs up. Yeah.
All right.
So that's it. He is 8.5 of 26. That's a 33% hit rate in free agency since he's been here. I don't think that, like, I know baseball 1 out of every 3 is good.
Yeah, that's not great.
Here's the problem, Regz. The trends are this. He is missing big time in bullpen.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
Like Matt Moore, Joe Ross, David Robertson, Archie Bradley, Juris Familia, Jordan Romano, Corey Knebel, Craig Kimbrell. That's 7.5, right? Guys that were failures, right? The fringe bats, Camargo, Harrison, Miller, we did say yes based on the contract. Merrifield, Kepler, Gregorius. All 5 fringe bats that he tried to sign failed. Like, that's where the Dodgers got the Phillies.
Yeah.
I look, hopefully he has the money he needs, but I need to see free agency work out. Like JT got here because of the front office before him. Bryce is here because of the front office before him.
Yeah.
Wheeler's here because of the front office before him.
Yeah.
Trey Turner might be the only, and Kyle, they might be the only two that he has added.
The pitching thing is really crazy because like Caleb Cotham's so good at this. So where's the disconnect?
Well, when did Cotham come?
2 years ago, at least.
Yeah, but like, I don't think Familia was here for him or Bradley.
That's true, I guess. But I mean, like Romano, Ross.
But like Romano just might be shot.
That's, yeah, fair.
You know what I mean? Like when you're a dude who's coming out and you're throwing 93 in one outing and 98 in the next.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
your
yeah,
arm
yeah.
just might be
Right.
shot.
Yeah, sure.
Who was the other guy you said? I'm sorry.
Who did I say? I said Romano, Ross. Like, who else did they sign
Yeah,
this year?
Ross is, I think, he's just, I actually thought Ross was better than like, I think what he was treated. I couldn't believe that they released him before they released Romano. I never understood that. I thought he was more effective than Romano was.
Yeah.
They like Ross would come in for an inning, shut it down, and then they put him back out there with two more, he'd give up 5 runs.
Yeah.
And people would get angry, and I never really understood that. If they just used him as a 1-inning guy, I think he was fine. You look at a guy like Kimbrel, you're not changing a guy like Kimbrel.
Yeah.
He is what he is.
Yeah.
I thought like Kobe Allard was good for what he was. Like I thought he did a good job with a guy like that. So yeah, I think looking at free agency, and we're gonna, we'll get to our off season, but the plan that he presented might involve guys that we don't necessarily think of.
Yeah.
Or guys that we haven't thought of. I think they're going to want to get cheaper in some places. And some of that is pending, where the free agents are more willing to sign. My brother asked me today, say they bring back Schwarber and JT, the center field's still open, right field's still open, third base could be open.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could sign a right fielder and let Otto Kempen and Mundo Sosa play third base until Aiden Miller's ready.
Right.
They could sign a third baseman and keep Marsh and put a platoon right-handed bat in right field with Marsh and bring Bader back or trade for a center fielder that we're not thinking about right now. So whatever that plan is, my guess is that there's a plan A, B, and C. But none of those plans involve trading Bryce Harper.
Yeah, for sure.
I think is where we landed. So
absolutely.
All right. Time for the birds?
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Brandon Graham. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I'll give you mine. Obviously, I'm very happy that he's back. I love Brandon Graham. I love the energy. I love the leadership. I love his ability to play the run, which they've struggled with this year. But I struggled a little bit out the gate with Brandon coming back.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I wanted one Eagles legend to ride off in the sunset, Regz. Just one. Kelsey didn't get it. Fletch didn't get it. And then BG did. So when it was announced he was coming back, I was like, shoot. If they don't win a Super Bowl, BG didn't get to ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And look, maybe the sunset is all in someone's perspective. Maybe Brandon feels like he's still got a lot to give and he's not ready to go away yet. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But from a fan perspective, as someone who really loves Brandon Graham, it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Because I was so excited for one of my favorite Eagles to end his career with a Super Bowl because none of my other favorite Eagles did. So your thoughts on BG?
I think I texted you this. By all reporting accounts since I texted you this, it very much seems like Brandon wanted this, that it wasn't sort of forced upon him or anything like that, or pressured or anything. That he was thinking about it even before he retired, but he's like, the moment's too good, right? We just win a Super Bowl. It's the perfect time to do it. I just hope he comes back, he enjoys himself, he doesn't hurt himself anymore, or make his life after football any harder. And whatever happens, I don't think this diminishes Brandon Graham as an Eagle one bit. So hopefully he can come back and help the team out. They desperately need it in terms of his, pass rush ability. So I'm hoping that he comes back and helps the team out, and that he just stays healthy and, all that, because he's just the best.
Yeah, they said he was already talking large amounts of trash.
Yeah, I love it.
So, we love that. We love that about BG.
Yeah.
Excited to have him back, man. Very excited to have him back.
Absolutely.
As the deadline then approaches, like this, I don't know how this changes what their plan was. I've read some things recently that with BG and with Nolan coming back, and Nakobe now back and being able to move Jihad in and out of some rushing spots, which they did a little bit of this past week.
Yeah.
That maybe edge isn't the place they go and they go back to corner. There aren't enough edge rushers to go around. There are a lot of teams seeking edge rushing help. So maybe this isn't a place that this is the year that they look for that. Maybe it's in free agency next year. Maybe it's in the draft. But corner looks like it could be a spot that they look to improve. They've already done that. I feel like they could still look at tight end too. Like I feel like tight end's a spot that they could look at on the offensive side, try and add a veteran, whether it be Michael Mayer. I've seen Mark Andrews attached to the Eagles in a couple of places. Both of those would intrigue me quite a bit. But I'm curious because, we've talked on here about the edge rushers. And I think, you could talk about it two ways. The corners help pressure the quarterback because if you can cover longer, you can rush the quarterback longer.
Mm-hmm.
But edge rushers can help the corners. If you get on the quarterback quicker, the corners have more success. They look better.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I don't want them paying like premium for edge rusher because I think it's going to be super expensive, whereas I don't know if cornerback 2 is going to be. So give me your ranking here.
I think edge is still 1.
Well, what I was going to say is edge, corner, stand pat with what you got at both spots.
I think I'd like them to bring in some edge help. I think you not only see it in the pressure stuff, but you also see it in their ability to stop the run. It hasn't been good. And you can't just sort of rely on only Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to stop the run. Like your edges have to set good edges and they have to be ready to fill gaps and get off blocks and things like that. And Jalix Hunt for, he's fine, but he's not this dominant, run stopper. He's not always in the best position. He sometimes is letting the edge get away from him and things like that. So if you have the opportunity to bring in, like I've seen Max Crosby or, a guy like that, like you got to be like, yeah, like if that's possible, like, of course. And again, that's an extreme side of it. I think like you talked about, the middle is sort of a little weirder and a little not as good for edge rushers. But if you're just talking about top end and wanting to go get somebody, I'd rather take that than corner, if I'm honest.
So I'm with you from a run stopping perspective, though. Just keep in mind, Brandon Graham changes that.
Oh no,
immediately.
I agree. I just
so does Nolan Smith.
Sure. I just think in general, if you like, Nolan's coming off another injury, you don't know what's going to happen there. Brandon, as much as we want him to be really good, we don't know. Like I love Brandon Graham. Like I get it.
Sure,
and I'm surely not trying to like wish upon him any bad or anything like that. But we don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah.
He might have just laid it all out last year and been playing. He was playing really well.
Yeah.
Before he got hurt.
I think stopping the run at an edge, and look, there are probably a lot of defensive coordinators that would tell me different. Maybe I'm crazy, but a lot of it is just the ability to set the edge. It's not.
I am not enough of a football guy to debate it. Yeah, sure.
But like when you watch and you hear people talk about what a run stopper on the edge, they're not plugging a gap.
Yeah.
They're setting an edge so that a linebacker can come up and plug a gap.
Right.
So that there's nowhere to go. You like the gap is plugged. You cannot turn it outside. If you do, you have to stretch it so far that now that your secondary is able to come up and make a play. So to me, like, again, you're 100% right. We don't know what BG is going to look like at 37 years old.
Yeah.
And we don't know what Nolan's going to look like coming back from such a serious injury.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, I think I am in the corner market at this point.
Okay.
I think I'm corner, and then believe it or not, I'm stay put, and then I'm edge, because I worry a little bit about what an edge is going to cost them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And while I'm very much like let's win now, I'm also like I think they can still win the NFC right now. And if you get to the game, you get to the game, and who the heck knows what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep those picks.
Yeah.
I do. I want to keep those picks. And I think if you can keep some of those picks, then you can get younger at edge and you can get younger at corner. I'd almost prefer that because I think they're in such a good place on that side of the ball. And honestly, they might need to figure out what tackle's going to look like, offensive tackle's going to look like, and what receiver's going to look like, because we don't know what the AJ scenario is. Like, there's a lot there, and they have the ammo. So I think I'm corner and then nothing.
All right.
Or a 6th round pick for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, fair.
And ride it out. So we'll see. We'll do a deadline conversation next week. Because the deadline's on the 4th, so we still have next week. They might very well make a trade between now and then.
Yeah.
So, they got the bye week, so they might want to get someone in during the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And get them ready. I think here's what I'll say. From an edge perspective, Jalen Phillips makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
He's played for Vic. Bradley Chubb makes a ton of sense. He's played for Vic. From a corner perspective, I don't know. I would love Denzel Ward, but there's some cap stuff there that could get in the way. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. From a tight end perspective, I already said Michael Mayer, Mark Andrews. I think those guys would be awesome to have in the organization. So that's where I'm at. That's a real quick high level.
Yeah.
Something could happen between now and next week, just so they can get a minute to buy. All right, Vikings game. Regz, I thought this was one of the better games they've played. Obviously Carson Wentz is a mess. But he was still able to move the ball on them a little bit.
Yep.
Which is not great. Simultaneously, Jordan Addison's really good.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Losing, CB2.
Tough.
And having Ringo come in wasn't ideal.
Nope.
But Jefferson didn't do a whole lot.
No.
Q was good. The Cooper DeJean breakup in the end zone was fantastic.
Yeah.
Jefferson after the game saying like, I usually catch that. My guy, he got in your catch zone. He pulled it out of your hands.
I think you can simultaneously say it was a good play by Cooper, and also Jefferson catches a lot of those. I think you can say both things. Like, Justin Jefferson is that good that he's
not wrong.
You can certainly,
but it's okay
you can expect him to catch it. You can also just be like, it was a good play.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Tip your cap to the corner. Like, he broke up the pass. Yes, you absolutely catch that ball 95% of the time. But maybe that 5% is because there's corners that are as talented as what they do as you are as a receiver. And it's okay to say that. Like you can say he made a good play, and Jefferson didn't say that.
Yeah.
And that ticked me off a little bit. It was, I usually come down with that. Next question. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. I don't know. No.
Wide
No, it's
receivers
okay to
are
say
interesting people.
it's okay to say they made a good play. It's okay to say that. I don't know. I've heard Devontae say that. Like, whatever. It's fine. It just annoyed me. It pissed me off. I just don't agree. From a defensive perspective though, the run, they did fine with the run. They got pressure. When they needed to, Uche had a couple of pressures. Jalen had a couple of pressures. Outside of that, it was just, Carson not being good.
Yeah, sure.
Couple of really bad throws. I don't really put the pick 6 on him. I think that was, that was his hot route, and the Eagles just had it covered. Credit Jalix for stepping in front and
Jalen for just blowing it up.
Absolutely. Offensively, my goodness, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, seriously.
My goodness. I mean, look, you won't get any credit from anybody ever in life for what you did. A perfect passer rating means nothing, apparently, unless, your name's Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes. But that's the best pass defense in football.
Yeah.
And he torched them. But no one's talking about it this week. It's the whole, Jalen had a good game. Well, he's got the best supporting talent in the league. So, that's what it was. No one notes that they can't run the ball.
Yeah.
No one notes that he lost his starting center during the game. No one notes that he made like 4 perfect throws. Perfect. Not lucky. Drop them in a bucket throws during this game. But hey, it is what it is. I will tell you, I need them to run the ball.
It does need to get better, yes.
Can we just get under center, please?
Yeah. I think this is like we talked about last time. The offensive line is a little worse. The teams are obviously selling out to, stop Saquon when they see certain formations or things like that. And yeah, it's going to have to get better for them to be more balanced and all those things. So I think everybody hopes that it starts to come around. And I think Jordan sort of put it well. He's like, we just all of us have to play better and more violently and set the tone on the line. Right. So I think that's true. I think it's very true.
Yeah. He also talked about how he prefers being under center because it's less of an advantage for edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know which way you're going to run. They don't know if you're going to go play action. So they have to be a little more, whereas in shotgun, if your running back's on your right, they can read.
Yeah.
The edge can read. You can only really run one way.
Right.
Right. So you only have to stay home on one side. You can crash on the other. So it's made it a little bit easier for teams to stop them out of the shotgun. Hopefully they'll get under center a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious if Cam can't play, what they'll do this week. Will they go back to Toth, or will they bring?
I think he was getting snaps at center at practice today.
Wonderful.
I know. I know.
Why do we draft the kid?
I don't know.
Whatever. Okay. Unfreaking real. Anyway, 5-2. This team could easily be 7-0 right now. Easily. They're playing a team that beat them a couple weeks ago. They're playing a team who's reeling after a hilarious loss.
Giving
this
up
week.
33 points in the fourth quarter.
That's just unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. And what's even funnier to me? They're all their fans are just killing their kicker. Which, yeah, of course, he missed 2 extra points.
Right.
Y'all gave up 33.
Yeah, right.
In the fourth quarter. You gave up 33 in one quarter, but it's the kicker's fault.
It's all the people blaming Orion for losing the series to the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. So coming into this game, the Eagles are 7.5 point favorites, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's technically it's a 1 score, but you could argue 2 score spread. 43.5 total. I think both of us had a hard time watching this game with clear eyes a couple weeks ago just because of what happened to the Phillies. And it was a Thursday night game. We're seeing what can happen on a Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Like the Vikings, who are one of the more competitive teams in the NFC, are getting their doors blown off right now because they had to travel on a Thursday night.
Yep.
So I am very curious. I heard Reed Blankenship talking this week about not only was it a Thursday game, but there were guys that they hadn't seen. And 2 key guys. Like, you can watch film of Cam Scatterbo, but you don't really know Cam Scatterbo until you face Cam Scatterbo. And the same goes for Jackson Dart. Like, you can watch Jackson Dart, but you don't really know what Jackson Dart looks like until you see him on the field, especially when you have 3 games to study him. So, I mean, my key, Regs, for this game, I don't think there's a large conversation to have here. It's simply like put those 2 guys back in their place.
Yes.
They're on the field after the game flexing with their shirts off, like the guy at Planet Fitness. Like, and
bringing it
we
all
are
together.
They are out there just acting like they won the Super Bowl. And look, maybe it was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
But go kick their ass.
Yeah.
Like, go kick their ass. What are we doing? This team doesn't belong on the field with you.
No.
Don't let them think they do.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about AJ. I don't know if he's gonna play.
Yeah, we're not sure.
But yeah, my key is don't let those 2 do what they did to you in New York.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, I'm with you. This is what it is. You're at home. You're against this team. Like, it's time to reestablish who Big Brother is, and just put these little kids back in their place. They can have their fun. They can do their whatever and all that stuff. But put the kids back in their place and let's move on with our lives.
Well, look, I don't usually do this, but I'm doing it tonight.
All right.
I'm picking a blowout.
I love it.
35-10.
Beautiful.
I don't usually do that. You know that.
That's very true.
But I do think this team took it personally in New York, and I think they have a lot of veterans who took it personally.
Yeah.
They're going into the bye. We predicted a 6-2 bye, and I think that's what we get.
Yeah, mine's 27-13.
27-13. Once again, Regz does not have the cover.
Once again.
Or, I'm sorry, the over.
I have the cover. Got the over.
You do have the cover. You don't have the over though. I for some reason I always take the over. I want to quickly update our our game here. Here we are. So all right. I get 8 points. You do not. Okay. So updated score. 33 Regz, 30 Azzy.
All right.
We both have 17 on this week. So there will be no
change.
There will be no change. It will still be a 3-point game either way. The next 2 weeks then would be I have Green Bay as a loss. You have it as a win.
All right.
And then we both have Detroit as a win, but we both have that high.
Yeah.
I have that as 15. You have it as 13. We have a win in Dallas. We don't have our next loss until the Chargers, but it's a 1-point loss. Both of us.
Okay. It's going to be
both
interesting.
Have 16, both have 16 on Vegas. Here's the big difference maker, Regz. At Washington, I have a 13-point win.
Did I say they were going to lose? Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have a 2-point win.
That's tough. Yeah, that's
tough. The biggest point difference in this whole thing. Wow. Well, you also have a 14-point win for Chicago, and I have a 6-point win. So
all right.
That would get some separation. So it's really going to come down to those two games are the ones that it comes down to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight. We'll be back on Thursday. Until then,
Yeah. All hail.
Click subscribe.
All hail VJ.
VJ. See you on Saturday, big guy. Click subscribe on the YouTube link channel thing below. Wherever you get your podcast, follow, rate, subscribe. Go head over to social media at the Mic Drop 5 at Big Regz with a Z, at the Phixated fan page on Facebook, at the Phixated Podcast on Instagram, at the Phixated Pod on TikTok, and then merchandise link in the show description. We'll be back on Thursday. Until then, take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Tell someone you love them. We love you. And until next week, VJ, do it again, guy. Do it again. And go Birds.
And welcome back, Brandon.
Oh, my God. Deep to right field. Way up there and way out of here.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.